this is Rick Prokop at Piano Power Lessons, and thanks for joining me once again. We just finished our unit on major scales, and we're about to begin a new unit on intervals, which are based entirely on your knowledge of the major scales. So let's get started. So we're looking at an interval sheet that I came up with maybe 40 years ago with the intention of writing a theory book at one time. And it's still useful today, so let's have a look at it. I've used an F major scale as a reference because all of the notes fit neatly into the staff. So let's begin by defining what is an interval. And an interval, if we take a look at this fifth here, is a space between and including two notes. This is called an interval of a fifth because I have 5 letter names present here. I have F, G, A, B, C. This is an interval of a second because I have F and a G. Interval of a third, F, G, A. Interval of a fourth, F, G, A, B. Don't worry about the flat right now. Interval of a sixth, F, G, A, B, C, D. That's 6 letter names, and so on. Seventh has 7 letter names. And if you can immediately identify all of these different intervals, it makes reading while you're playing the piano so much more easy. And another interesting thing to notice, any even-numbered interval, seconds, fourths, sixth, eighth, or octave, you'd notice there's a combination of either a space and a line or a line and a space. If I did this on the G scale, it would be G to A. It would be a line to a space, but it's a combination of both lines and spaces. We go to the 4th degree, and that's true. We have a space and a line. Go to the 6th interval of a sixth. We have a combination of a line and a space or a space and a line. We go to the octave. Same thing. The F's on a line up here and the F's on a space down here. And then for the odd-numbered intervals, the unison, the third, the fifth, and the seventh, you notice that we have two notes on a space. Here we have for the third, 2 notes on spaces. For the fifth, 2 notes on spaces. Seventh, 2 notes on spaces. Again, if this were the G scale, the third would be a G to a B, and the 2 notes would be on lines. And for the fifth, you'd have a G to a D, and those would be 2 lines, etc. Well, how does knowing that this is a third and that this is a sixth, how does that help my reading? Well, if I see a second, and I play it with these 2 fingers, my fingers immediately do that, just from years of playing seconds and seeing seconds, and then I just hit the 2 notes. I see a sixth, my hand immediately does that, and this space from here to here is a sixth. In this case, an F to a D. So that's why it's so valuable in knowing and immediately recognizing, hey, that's a fourth, that's a sixth, and recognizing the different types of intervals. Now we've covered the spatial aspect of the definition of an interval. Well, if you look down here, this diagram is true for all major scales. And what it demonstrates is the following. The first to the second note of any major scale, B flat, E flat, A flat, B major, the first to the second is called a major second. The first to the third is known as a major third. The first to the 6th note is known as a major 6th. The first to the 7th is called a major 7th. Well, we left out the 4th, 5ths, and octaves, and the first to the 4th note is known as a perfect 4th. The first to the 5th is called a perfect 5th. First to the 8th, technically we could say it's P8, perfect 8, or we just call it an octave. So today we're going to write out some major seconds, major thirds, major sixths, and major sevenths, starting on different notes, just to get an idea what they look like. So beginning with the C scale, I'd like a major second above C, and a major third above C, a major sixth, and a major seventh above C. Big M 2, big M 3, big M 6, big M 7. Big M for major. So a major second above C requires two letter names, and we squeeze them together like this so that they're touching. Whenever you write a second, it's written like that. The major third requires a space of three letter names within the scale. So we have C, D, E, and I often like to refer to thirds as stacked hamburgers. Okay, and then the major sixth, we go up to A. We know our C scale. We know the sixth note of C is A. So that's a major sixth. And what's the seventh note of C? A B. And these are known as harmonic intervals, meaning they're played at the same time. There's the third, here's the sixth, and there's the seventh. And you notice right off the bat that the second is very dissonant, the third is very pleasant sounding, the sixth very pleasant sounding, the seventh dissonant. Also notice that the even intervals, the second and the sixth, have a combination of lines and spaces, and the odd intervals, the third and the seventh, have either two lines, notes on two lines. In this case, they're all on lines, but you'll see as we go to other scales that the odd intervals will also include spaces. Well, suppose now I ask you to write a major second, major third, major sixth, and major seventh above A. A. Four of those guys. Yeah, major second here, major third, major sixth, major seventh. All right? And simply, you know the A scale. So what's the second note of the A scale? B. It's the third note of the A scale, C sharp. These are all major intervals because they're based on the major scale. What's a major sixth above A? It's the same as saying what's the sixth note above A in the A major scale. And you know from your studying that's an F sharp. What's a major seventh above A? What's the seventh note above A in the major scale? It's a G sharp. There we go. These are all major intervals, major second, third, sixth, seventh. Let's deal with one of the flat scales. How about E flat? What's a major second above E flat? Well, second note is F. Let's crunch it in like that. What's a major third above E flat? Well, it's the same as saying what is the third note of the E flat scale? G. What's a major sixth above E flat? What's the same as saying what's the sixth note of E flat? C. You should know that immediately if you studied the scales. And a major seventh above E flat. What's the seventh note? D. So in this instance, we have the odd numbered intervals where the notes are on spaces. See? Over here, they were on lines. And then the even numbers, seconds and the sixth, always have a combination, lines and spaces. That's how you know. Let's try a few in bass clef. And we'll keep these columns going. Well, actually, let's do this. Let's get rid of this. Let's put the bass clef down here. Make some room for ourselves. Major second, major third, major sixth, major seventh. Let's do it that way. And this time we'll choose A flat as our bass note, meaning bottom note. Okay, what's a major second above A flat? Whoop. What's a major second above A flat? Well, it's the second note of the A flat scale. B flat. You're looking at a major second there, A flat to B flat. It's a major third above A flat. Well, the third note of the A flat scale is C. What's the sixth note of the A flat scale? F. Therefore, it's a major sixth. What's a major seventh above A flat? Or, what's the seventh note of the A flat scale? G. There you go. So you're now seeing how important it is to know your major scales, because this is a piece of cake if you know them. So bass clef, so if we see a B, so if in a piece of music you saw something like this, say, what is that? Well, B is the bottom note, and C sharp is the second note of the B scale. It's a major second. What did I do here? What's a major third above B? What's the third note of the B scale? D sharp. You should know that. See how easy it is if you know the scales? What's a major sixth above B? What's the sixth note of B? G sharp. There you go. And what's a major seventh above B? A sharp. Because I know my scales. I know that A sharp is the seventh note of the B scale. Let's listen to some of these guys. Here's A flat, B flat. It's a kind of pleasant dissonance. This is really nasty. I did something like that, but a major second is a pleasant dissonance. Major third, do, da, do, mi, right? And then the major sixth, very pleasant. Major seventh, very ugly. Same thing in B, B to C sharp. Not bad, major second. Listen to a minor second. Ugh. All right, major third, very pleasant, kind of shimmers. Major sixth, shimmers, very nice. Major seventh, yikes, dissonant. All right, we're still in bass clef. And does anyone remember what the key signature of F sharp is? Well, it had 6 sharps. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp. And we want a major second and a major third above all of these F sharps, major sixth, major seventh. So I need a major second above F sharp. What's the second note of the F sharp scale? G sharp. Put the sharp over here. Major third above F sharp. What's the third note of the F sharp scale? F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. Remember? Major sixth above F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp. See, this way you don't have to know, you don't have to be concerned with how many half steps there are and whole steps in a major sixth, how many whole steps and half steps are in a major third. You know your major scale, and by definition, 1 to 6 is a major sixth. Okay, what's a major seventh above F sharp? It's the same as saying, what's the seventh step of the F sharp scale? Remember, there's a half step on the top. If there's an F sharp on the top, then a half step below that was an E sharp. So that's a major seventh above F sharp. Sorry about that. I'm talking too much here. F sharp to E sharp here, third space. Okay? Okay, back to treble clef. We have B flats now. What's a major second above B flat? It's the same as saying, what's the second note of the B flat scale? And you know, it's a C. So B flat to C is a major second. What's the third note of the B flat scale? We want to figure out what a major third above B flat is. And you say D. B flat to D is a major third. What's a major sixth above B flat? What's the sixth note of B flat? G. And a major seventh above B flat is an A, because A is the seventh note of the B flat scale. And let's look at D flat. What's a major second above D flat? Well, the second note of the D flat scale is E flat. That was easy. What's a major third above D flat? 1, 2, 3, D flat, E flat, F. Sixth note above D flat. Remember the scale? D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat. All you have to know is the major scale. And once you know the major scales, that's it. You'll know them for life. Okay, and what's a major seventh above D flat? Well, same as saying, what's the seventh note of D flat? The seventh note of D flat is a C, so D flat to C is a major seventh. And what we're going to do next is interesting, because this was a D flat and this is a D. And let's see what happens. So here we had a D flat to an E flat. Here the second note of the D scale is an E. Whoop. Okay. Major second. What's a major third above D? D, E, F sharp. All right. D to F sharp is a major third. What's a major sixth above D? What's the sixth note of the D scale? B. Easy. This is so easy if you know the scales. And what's a major seventh above D? C sharp. All you have to know is the scale. And you know all the stuff immediately. Now I want you to look at the D flat intervals and the D intervals. And this will give you an idea of the importance of letter names in intervals, as far as the size of the interval is concerned. In the D flat one, you had two letter names, D and an E, right? And then you just put flats on them. Here you have D and E again. Some kind of second, right? Some kind of third is going to be a D and an F of some kind. Here it's a D flat and an F. Here it's a D and an F sharp. And some kind of sixth is going to be D and a B. I shouldn't say some kind of a sixth is going to be some kind of D and B. And here you have a D flat to a B flat. Here you have a D to a B. They're both major sixths, yeah? Okay. In the major seventh, we have D's and C's So we have a D flat to a C, and here we have a D to a C sharp. So in both cases, it's 7 letter names. Has to be that to be a seventh. D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And this is D, E, F, G, A, B, C. But this one's a flat, this one's a natural, and this one's a sharp, this one's a natural. Okay, but they're still both. This is some kind of D to C, this is some kind of D to C. I hope you enjoyed that lesson. Please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.